Will Arnett, host of Fox's Lego Masters, joins the panel tonight on The Masked Dancer. This is the semifinals. Hey everybody, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to the Masked Dancer recap semifinals. There's only one episode left for the season. That will air next week. But we had 4 dancers tonight, eliminated 1. So next week we will have 3 in the finals. Let's talk all about this. Before we do, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing below. And if you want to get all my updates, go ahead and hit the little bell as well, and you can get notifications whenever I post new videos. But commenting, of course, is always important on my Masked Singer and Dancer videos, because I love communicating with you guys, and certainly you've helped move me in a few, I think, correct directions for this season, although many of those people are still on the show, so we don't know who they are yet. But let's get into the semifinals. This is my handy-dandy notebook, and I wrote so many notes on today's show. And I write very small, too, so let's see if I can even read this. But so first of all, like I mentioned in the intro, Will Arnett from Fox's Lego Masters joined the panel as the guest for this week, and Lego Masters will be returning this summer on Fox. I did, by the way, get word that March 10th will be the premiere night for the new Masked Singer season. I'll have to get used to saying Masked Singer again after doing Dancer for so many weeks. But next week is the 2-hour finale of The Masked Dancer. Then for a couple of weeks we're going to have double episodes of Name That Tune, and then March 10th will be the premiere of the new Masked Singer. But let's talk the semifinals. Before anybody did their own routine, they had a little group dance number to Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon, and each one just had one word behind their heads as they were introduced. So the Sloth said Miami, Tulip said Cats, Cotton Candy said Boss, and Zebra said Golf. So first up was the Cotton Candy, and I mean the clues were just coming very, very fast and furiously, which is why I wrote down so much. And not only did they have the clue package, each person did their dance, but then not only did they have the word up, where they take the voice modulator off, we also got an undercover clue after the judges spoke, and then also each one brought a Valentine for one of the panelists and shared what sort of connection they had with that particular person. So a lot of clues to discover tonight. Actually, first, before we even get to the Cotton Candy, let's talk about the one who was eliminated. We like to start there, and that was actually the third dancer, and that was the Zebra. So right away we saw a mirror that he was sitting in front of with the OK on a post-it, those letters. He picked up some cowboy boots. There was a golden urn or pot. We saw XX Holly. We saw a wedding ring. He had boxes on his hands, like literal cardboard boxes. So if you really weren't feeling that this was a boxer still, then there you go. He said he lost someone special years ago. He said he is a speaker and an activist now. And then we saw 510 on the license plate. And then there was a whole Vegas vibe to the performance as well. So the song he danced to was Mac the Knife, classic Bobby Darin tune. And the Valentine was for Paula. He said that she gave him a shout out online, so now he's going to give her an I love you right here on the show. And his word was box office. Again, I think that's less to do with movies and more boxing. They've really, really hit those here. Paula did ask after the Valentine, she asked if they took a photo together, and he said yes, and that still did not help her. And then the guesses originally for the panel were Mike Tyson, The Miz from Good Old Ken, and Oscar De La Hoya from Brian Austin Green, someone he's been saying for a few weeks now. So those were the guesses after the Zebra danced. But then we find out he's eliminated, and then we have our questions from the panel, and then their final guesses. So Ashley asked, have millions watched you on TV? Yes. Paula asked, do you perform a lot in Las Vegas? He said yes. Ken said, do you have a special lady? He said yes. Will said, are you taller than Ken? Everybody likes to ask that. Are you taller than Ken? He said by about 4 inches. And Brian said, do you have a major award on the mantle? And he said yes. So the final guess is Ashley with Conor McGregor. They were all sort of fighter guesses. Paula with Floyd Mayweather. Ken went a little off the beaten path of fighter specifically and went wrestling and said The Miz. And then Brian said Oscar De La Hoya, like he's been saying for a few weeks, and Will echoed that sentiment as well. Brian even pointed out tonight that the 5'10" on the license plate in the clue package could possibly mean 5 foot 10 inches, which Oscar De La Hoya is. And he also thought about the OK on the post-it. If you reverse that, of course, that becomes KO. And so the zebra was unmasked, and sure enough, I have been saying it since week 1. I'm very proud of this one. It was Oscar De La Hoya. And the main reason I thought that right from the start was because Ice-T was eliminated the first week, and in his clue package, they were literally pouring an iced tea. I just started looking for name clues, and there was an OS on a car that was driving by for zebras, so Oscar, and then also a hot dog that was dancing. I've talked about this. So certainly I think anyway of Oscar Mayer when I think of hot dogs, so Oscar right there again. But some of the other clues that they mentioned after he got unmasked, the ZEO from the first week, he is the CEO of Golden Boy Productions, which would also explain a lot of the golden clues. I thought maybe that was mostly just because of the gold medal at the Olympics, but it's for Golden Boy Productions, which he is the CEO of. And some of the other things that he had mentioned, his mother is the person who was close to him that had passed away. And one thing I thought was very interesting is that Craig said that he is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. The reason that's important is because we were told at the beginning of the season there are 4, or not 4 gold medalists, but that this group of people combined has 4 gold medals among them. Well, Oscar De La Hoya only has 1 so far as I am aware. Now, he's won a few like gold medals from, different championships and Olympic, like qualification rounds and stuff. But in terms of actually being a gold medalist at the Olympics, it's just the 1. So I'm not sure why they're saying 2, but the problem with it is they're the ones who originally told us that it was 4 gold medals. So if they're considering Oscar De La Hoya having 2 of those, then it throws off my guess for the cotton candy a little bit, which we'll talk about. So I don't know where that leaves us really, but as far as I'm aware, Oscar De La Hoya only has 1 gold medal, but it's their list. So if they're saying he has 2, then I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, I was correct from the start. I think that's, of the ones that didn't get eliminated on the first week, I think that's the only one that I have gotten correct from that first week. Everybody else, as you'll hear, I've definitely changed my mind on over the course of the last few weeks. So, all right, let's get to the cotton candy, because here is, I think, our other Olympian. The clues tonight. The theme was love for tonight's show, because it's the week of Valentine's Day, whatever. So the cotton candy said, love has always taken a back seat in her life because she was always rehearsing. She said she started at age 6. We saw her sort of doing a stretch on a high bar, like a ballet bar type thing. She said she started at age 6 and 4 years just flew by, which told me, all right, maybe her first competition was at age 10 or something along those lines. And then we had the word boss on a name tag that was on like one of the like the security guards of The Masked Dancer. And then she was also at a photo shoot with a bunch of famous landmarks sort of whizzing by, the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. So we're thinking somebody that has traveled a lot, maybe gone to Olympics in different countries, don't know. And then in the actual routine, we saw in the background a metro or like bus sort of sign that said downtown Brooklyn F/S, like the FS line on the train or something. And FS I don't think is her initials, unless I'm way off. But the song she actually did a mashup of Get Ready by 2 Unlimited and Hey Mickey. Her Valentine was for Will Arnett, and she said that she is someone that he gave love to on The Masked Singer. So we're thinking, okay, well, when he guested on The Masked Singer, I think that was in season 3, because it would have been during the last run of Lego Masters. So it's somebody that he possibly guessed, we're thinking. And then her word was CoverGirl, and her underground clue or undercover clue, whatever they called it, after the judges spoke, she said, to us, the audience, I've been a judge myself, and I've been in some fierce competition. So the guesses from the panel included people that we've really all heard before: Tara Lipinski, Simone Biles, and Gabby Douglas. And I, because of the Olympic medals and many other things, am on board with the Gabby Douglas guess. I said it last week. I was on Tara Lipinski for a little while, Venus Williams before that, but she does have 3 gold medals. So if they're considering Oscar De La Hoya has 2, then that would make 5 for the whole season. But again, Oscar De La Hoya does not have 2, so I don't know what they're doing. But Gabby Douglas, I mean, a lot of the clues do measure up here. She did start at age 6. Paula pointed out that she was part of Undercover Boss, or like was on that show, in an episode or something. And then for her word, CoverGirl, her first championship was for the CoverGirl, CoverGirl sponsored it or something. And also, I think for the Simone Biles guess, Ashley was like, oh, she was, the CoverGirl on Vogue or whatever. Okay, that's fine. But CoverGirl, when I think about Gabby Douglas, I think it's because of CoverGirl sponsoring her first championship or whatever it was. So I'm sticking with my Gabby Douglas guess. I'm really sticking with all my guesses this week. So this will sort of be a broken record for those of you that watch my Masked Dancer videos regularly. But we still have 2 more to get to, and some more clues were uncovered about these people that I think match up even more. So let's continue with the sloth. He said that he never thought that dancing would find him true love. He said he's had incredible leading ladies, and that he used to be a bad boy and a ladies' man when he was younger. And then as he was talking about his great leading ladies, we saw a panda, we saw a ballerina, and a cinnamon jar, and then we saw a stethoscope as well. And then there was something that the panel didn't reference, and I watched it 3 times, and I'm like, I still don't know exactly what this is, but it looked like some sort of big cookie, like a wafer type cookie on a plate. And I'm not sure what that was specifically, but the song he danced to was Dancing with a Stranger, from the great Sam Smith, and he was doing a really nice samba with his partner. The Valentine he had was for Brian Austin Green. He said one of his co-stars was actually one of the Sloth's co-stars as well, and his word was app, which they weren't sure if that meant appetizer. He created an app, something like that. Lent his name to an app on your phone. We don't know. And then the undercover clue afterwards, he said competing runs in the family, which comes into play with the panel guesses. Because, we had... Ken was thinking it might be a doctor because of the stethoscope, so he guessed it might be Patrick Dempsey, who did some dancing earlier in his career in the movie Can't Buy Me Love, which Paula Abdul choreographed, and so he was thinking, okay, maybe Brian Austin Green's co-star doesn't mean 90210, maybe it means this show here, The Masked Dancer. So he was thinking Patrick Dempsey. However, Paula got onto it, something that I've been saying for a couple of weeks, and I never, ever, ever, ever would have thought this if it wasn't for you guys in the comments, because I never heard of this person before. I don't watch Dancing with the Stars, but just a cursory look at some of the things he accomplished on Dancing with the Stars and who some of his partners were makes it pretty obvious that it is Maxim Chermovsky. And he does have a brother, which is why his undercover clue, everything, or not everything, competing, runs in his family, which Brian Austin Green pointed out. He was like, well, I don't think it's Maxim because I ran into him, at a restaurant when they should have been rehearsing, so I don't think it's him. I think it's his brother, Val. Okay, fine. However, there's way too many guesses for Maxim. And we've talked about some of them recently. Last week I went over a few of them, but even some of the ones tonight match up even more. Paula pointed out that the cinnamon jar could be a spice, and one of his partners was Spice Girl, Scary Spice, because it had like a Halloween pumpkin logo on the jar. So she was like, oh, that's like Scary Spice. And then for me, the Brian Austin Green clue, one of your co-stars was one of my co-stars. One of his partners was Denise Richards, who was on one or two of the early seasons of 90210 as sort of a bit player. So that to me could certainly mean that. And then just all the 18s that we've seen, not this week, but over the weeks. 18 was appearing everywhere, and that's the number season in which he came in first place on Dancing with the Stars. So, that stands to reason for Maxim over Val, certainly. But the other thing, the panda that was in this clue, there was a panda last week as well, and one of you guys pointed out in the comments, and thank you for it, that Tatiana Ali, or Layla Ali, one of the Alis, was his partner in an early season of Dancing with the Stars, and then she was also the panda on The Masked Singer. So let me see her name here. It is Layla Ali. Okay. But look, a lot of these other women that he's had as partners have probably been referenced. For example, we were thinking there was maybe a Matthew Morrison vibe because we saw some Glee toothpaste in the very first package. Well, Heather Morris from Glee was one of his partners as well. So he's definitely made it through a lot of different leading ladies, as he says. So this is, I think, for sure, Maxim Chermovsky. And finally, the Tulip. Again, I don't have a new guess for this, but there's some extra clues that might add something. She had an iceberg coming, from behind her back, basically. There was some Z's, like somebody was sleeping. She said she is the youngest in the competition that's left, she thinks. Her best friend has won more trophies than her. She's talked about her best friend before on the show, which we take to mean her sister. And we saw some posters of BTS and Justin Bieber in the background. There was the letter D on a big pink envelope. And then we saw some cherries as well. The song she did was just a polka. I don't think it even really was named anything. It just was a polka. Her Valentine was for Ashley. She said she has danced to High School Musical for 10,000 hours. And it didn't seem like hyperbole. It didn't seem like an exaggeration, because this girl that we think it is was a TV dancer professionally on Dance Moms, and so it's possible that she did log in that many hours. I guess maybe it's not possible. I don't know. I'd have to do the math on that. But anyway, her word was butterflies, which I didn't really get much from, but she didn't get an undercover clue. Basically, she just got an extra little minute or so to dance for us because Ken was all like moaning that he didn't get a Valentine from anybody. So Craig sung him a little love song, and then the Tulip was kind of dancing behind Craig. So we didn't get an extra clue, but we saw a little more dancing. The guesses tonight, Maddie Ziegler, Mackenzie Ziegler, Noah Cyrus, Dove Cameron, Liza Koshy, who Paula has been saying for a while, and she was thinking that the Z's for the person snoring could be for Liza Koshy, like Liza with a Z, the classic Liza Minnelli bit, but it's also for Ziegler, I think. And so this is Mackenzie Ziegler. I've been saying it for weeks. And again, I certainly would not have thought of it if it wasn't for you guys leading me in that direction in the comments. So I do thank you for it, because I believe that that is correct. The iceberg, she was the ice princess. We talked about that last week. And then again, her best friend has won more trophies than her. Well, that would be her sister, which makes sense because Maddie Ziegler was the one that I was more aware of because of the Sia video and stuff. But Mackenzie and Maddie were both on Dance Moms, so they got their start very early. Youngest in the competition, the whole thing. So no changes on my guesses this week. So we will wrap it there. We'll see who actually wins. I guess I should now make a prediction for who wins, right? Because I think we've got these people down. I think it is these three, Gabby Douglas, Maxim, and Mackenzie. There's very, very little doubt in my mind. All of the clues seem to point us in that direction. But for who's going to win, I don't think it's going to be Cotton Candy. I think she's done a great job. But look, she's not a professional dancer like the other two, so I think it makes the most sense for one of them to win. Of the two, I really don't know. I think the Tulip has probably shown us more range because each dance is very, very different. So I guess I'll put it on the Tulip to win it all. Going into next week's competition. Now, of course, that could change when I see next week, and, if the Tulip stinks, then, okay, maybe that goes out the window. But as of now, I would give it to the Tulip. So that is it. Thank you for watching my Masked Dancer recap for the week, the semifinals. Next week is it, and then not another video about Masked programming for another few weeks until we get to the new season of Masked Singer in March. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.